What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the data points, what is really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is down 0.39%. I know it's not all that much, but considering the broader market is in full FOMO mode, it's kind of disappointing. And so you can kind of see that just based on the overall sentiment as well. So a lot of people are just very discouraged. So NIO Worldwide, who has 8,100 followers on Twitter, they just said, I'm sick of waiting for NIO. If NIO doesn't deliver on delivery numbers until end of Q1 2025 with Onvo, they'll start selling some shares. And a lot of entities as well that have been holding for a very long time, such as the Swiss National Bank, kind of reduced their position by 67%. So I think a lot of people are just annoyed. And in reality, like, it's nothing really new. NIO's always been heavily manipulated, and just because of it being a Chinese stock, Trump in power now, I think that's going to increase the tensions. Some people disagreed with me on that and said that Trump is actually good for NIO. Again, I kind of disagree, just with a lot of tariffs and even the whole European tariff and that whole situation has not really been rectified. There's been nothing coming out associated to that. So NIO just has a million things that is stuck in limbo, all of which are fairly good catalysts or could turn to be good catalysts. But right now, NIO is just getting hammered. And regrettably, I think shorts are trying to bring it down on a technical level. There was one thing that was announced recently, and that was their earnings, and it was on November the 7th, so that's when it was announced. My apologies on, I guess, not doing all that much in NIO videos. Did go on a quick vacation, decided pretty much the worst time or the worst week to do that, especially with elections and everything, but they did slate it for November the 20th at 7 a.m. Eastern. So it's kind of a good thing. These are the current estimates so far right now. Negative 31 cents for the earnings per share, 2.69 billion for the revenue, and no changes to the earnings per share from an analyst standpoint over the last 90 days. So yeah, that's kind of the benchmark. And I think in reality, the market is going to be extra strict on NIO because they're kind of going to be factoring in all the key metrics that normal investors do care about, but they're also going to be factoring in whether they talk on tariffs and if that's something even on their mind or not. So there's just a lot of crap that is suppressing NIO. And even though over and above all that, though, you also have shorts still trying to suppress NIO. So far, it does show that they are flat, but 14.29% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 190.8 million shares. So even though across the board, market's been going higher, shorts have been returning some shares in heavily shorted stocks, shorts have been sticking around with NIO. So the way I interpret that is they see more downside coming, and that's a very realistic thing that people need to kind of factor in. But with the market just opening recently, 856,000 in calls, 557,000 in puts. Of those call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that $5.50 to $6 range, so more of a recovery. And then looking at the puts, you see a consensus for it to be sub $4. So very much evenly divided based on this. As of right now, there has been no transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So big money is just overlooking NIO, and that's kind of been the case on and off since pretty much the end of October. So it's very unfortunate, and I was getting very excited, especially with that whole kind of tariffs, European tariffs being dropped, Chinese stimulus. Like, big money was getting into NIO like it was just a fire sale. But things have changed, a quick 180. So like I said, big money is not really seeing much value in NIO. Dark pool is very active though. So dark pool is often enough linked to shorting and other large entities, but still nothing really new in regards to that. Right now with it at 508, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 511 is going to be the next strong kind of target. It was above that. It started off fairly strong, so you'll want to watch for it to get above that. And then aside from that, 531 is going to be the following kind of target for that. But in my opinion, I think it is going to kind of just continue to flirt with this pivot point throughout the rest of the day. 491 and then 479 is going to be the following support levels that you'll want to take notice of. But as of right now, going over to IBKR, that 200-day moving average. So that 200-day has been somewhat the saving grace, with exception of on November the 6th, but that is currently at 503. So bigger picture and more of kind of a rotation, watch for that 503, because if it does break below that, then yes, you have that 100-day moving average at 490, which is close to that other fib level. But I think NIO is kind of just stuck in limbo, like I said. So it is currently below the ALMA as well. On a side note, showing more signs of consolidation is possibly coming right around the corner. So yeah, honestly, I really like NIO, what they're doing, bigger picture, but it's just, you have to be comfortable with a lot of manipulation and just it being a long-term play. So that's just my viewpoint. Of course, you guys do whatever floats your boat, your own due diligence. I'm not here to sway you, buy, sell, hold. I could really care less what you all do, because like I said, I'm just interpreting the data and all the other fun jazz. Last rating did come out 6 days ago. I don't believe I did talk on this since my last video. Citi Jeff, who has a 42% success rating, did give a 890 price target. And then quickly going back over to here. So Elliott Wave Technicals, I like to look at this, and oddly it is fairly accurate. It does have a pivot point of $5.67. So for as long as it is below that, then it is anticipated to get between that 398 and 433 range. So a little bit more of a breakdown possibly in the foreseeable future. So like I said, I think there's just a million things stuck in limbo for NIO right now, all of which could cause it to go up higher or break it down even further. And so yeah, until that does come, so the next big catalyst, you're just going to have to follow the technicals and what big money is doing. So with all that, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then 2 things, take advantage of this promo because free stuff is amazing. So this does give you 8 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, so this is a kick-ass deal. Then aside from that, if you like my channel, want to support the growth, you can definitely join as a member. So I have multiple different tiers, one of which is for a private Discord where I give buy signals on stocks and options, and they have been absolutely killing it. So make sure you guys pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.